Ready with the news. Now, let's start on some educational stories. And girl-child education in the Sola, Tuna, Kalba, and Pandai district have been boosted following the introduction of girls' model school concept in these districts. The innovative project, which is being implemented in the two deprived districts as well as the Pandai district by Oxfam ABIS, is using ICT tools and pedagogies to improve girl-child education. As a result of that, they have benefited from ICT equipment worth some 62,000 euros. We have correspondent Rafiq Salam bringing to us the latest.
Oxfam ABIS and Bibliothèque Sans Frontières, translated as Library Without Borders, agreed in July 2018 to work together to set up an innovative project using ICT tools and pedagogies to improve girls' education in the former northern region of Ghana, and specifically in Sola, Tuna, Kalba, and Pandai districts. The project is called Innovative for Transformative Education ITE project. The aim of the ITE project is to contribute towards improved transformative education by increasing teaching and learning outcomes at the girls' model junior high schools in Sola and Pandai districts.
Was how the kind of methodology we use in teaching here, the way we train the girls, not only the academics, but also lifelong learnings that will help them to live just beyond the classroom. So we try looking at what kind of teacher that can bring this type of girl that we are looking at here in this school. So together with the GS, they look for competent teachers, teachers who have girls' education at heart, teachers who are commuted to work.
Headmistress of Sola Girls Model Junior High School, Teresa Tantoyuri, embraced the style of teaching at the school, which has made them to talk success.
So we are into sports, and academically too, they are good because of the way we train them. Some of them, we don't have primary school. So we get our girls from different schools, and they come from different schools. So it's not just easy to train them. When they come, by the end of the third year, you see the results, because the results is always good.
A final year student of the school, Moro Rahinatu, spoke on the disciplinary measures at the school, which she believes has shaped their lives.
In this whole district, the best female always come from this school. So I like all those kind of things, and the way they monitor us, the way they build our discipline level, take care of us like we are their children. They joke with us when it's time, but they are really strict on us. When like some students practice exams more practices, some still they may dismiss you, they may punish you, but when it comes to joking, they will joke with you, but they don't allow you to do bad things. They treat you as their children. They don't maltreat students in this school.
The school has been provided with one idea box that contains books, multimedia equipment, cinema, and other storage facilities. They have also been provided with Kim books, which are roughly the size of a book, and creates a Wi-Fi hotspot which the users can connect to.
So this is a server of the Kumbu. You connect it to power, and then it will serve the purpose as the other one you saw in the IDS box. These are the tablets that are found in it, and there are 10 in each Kumbu.
5 schools in Sola and Pandai will also be given the Kumbooks to facilitate teaching and learning. A 4-day training was organized to equip the GES District Teacher Support Team, teachers of the Girls Model Junior High School, as well as some selected students on the use of the equipment, participatory teaching methodologies, lesson planning through the use of the equipment, how to access games with the facility.
Then this project is to introduce, to make ICT accessible to poor and rural girls who wouldn't have gotten the opportunity to access these facilities if this project was not brought to them.
The project will run for 2 years before being fully handed over to the Ghana Education Service and the district assemblies. The total cost of the equipment is 62,268,000 euros. Reporting for JoyNews, Rafiq Salam,
inside
Sola, Savannah region.
And this place we have what? The Victorian energy.
Right here in Accra, the National Association of Law Students is calling on the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, to immediately take steps to reform legal education in Ghana. Addressing the media on behalf of the group, the president of the association, Jonathan Alua, stated the regulation of law education is an executive and not a judiciary function. Hence, his call on the president to direct the Attorney General and the Minister of Justice to present a bill to Parliament to amend or repeal sections of the current law to make legal education more accessible. Meanwhile, the Deputy Attorney General, Godfrey Dame, has explained that the mass failure of students seeking to enter the Ghana School of Law this year was not just because of limited spaces, but rather one of poor performance by the students who sat for the examinations.
So it is not a case where you could say that the law school had only 120 places for law students this year. It is not so at all. It was not a question of the law school placing a cap or placing a limitation of 128.
So this isn't the case of no space?
Definitely not this year, definitely not.
You had 1,000 spaces.
Yes.
Students were simply not good enough.
It's a case
to take up the 1,000.
Precisely. It was a case of only 10% passing. But I would say that this is also not unusual. It is not the first time in the history of the nation that indeed persons applying to pursue professional law course, you have had such a low. You know why? You know why I say so? Yeah. Because in our time, there was a private program run for, you may call them mature students, those who had not pursued undergraduate LLB, but had perhaps after the pursuit of other professions and occupations decided to apply. They call it PLC, the preliminary law course. So that stream of students would pursue a 2-year course to the at the law school, and then they would join the graduates of the LLB program from Legon. So we have many of them, very good students. Some of them very good. Professor Atefa, I think, if you join, or maybe no, he had come from abroad. And there's very good students. One very good lawyer, or Serusu, very my mate of mine from a Akufo-Addo Pempenko. We're all part of the PLC. In their time, less than 10% of the students passed.
Already, there's opposition to the proposed amendment. Both the chairman of Parliament's Constitutional, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee, Ben Abdallah, and his ranking, Inusa Fuseni, say they are personally opposed to these amendments because it actually imposes further restrictions to legal education.
If you were to ask my personal opinion, I will not support the quota system. That is my personal opinion. Okay. The committee is yet to meet to have a thorough discussion on it.
Mr. Fuseni, is this latest amendment something you also support?
The fact that we as a committee refused to or decided not to sit on that amendment is evidence of the fact that we didn't think that it would fix the problem, because the government was looking for quick fixes.
Nine persons, including the owner of Citadel Hospital, Dr. Frederick Yao Makpam, who were arrested for plotting to destabilize the presidency, have now been charged with treason felony, the highest crime against the state. Having initially been charged with possession of arms and ammunition without license, the charges were subsequently reviewed in court on Wednesday. The alleged coup plotters were arrested last month during a joint security operation that led to the retrieval of several arms, explosive devices and ammunition from locations in Accra and Kpombaoleshi in Dodowa. State prosecutor alleged the men, including a 7th senior military officer, intended to engage in series of demonstrations all geared at toppling government or the government of Ghana. The Kaneshi District Court on Wednesday, the state's prosecutor, ASP Sylvester Asari, explained why a new charge of treason felony has since been filed against them. Well, we'll bring you more in this story.
A family member of one of the accused persons makes libation at the court premises. Another relative explains his actions.
The gods of Alavanyo, the gods of Pando, the gods of Abatime, to intervene, that all those who will come and give false testimony against them, the God should take care of them.
This was after state prosecutors had leveled the charges including conspiracy to commit crime, namely treason felony and treason felony against 9 persons. They are Dr. Frederick Yao McPalm, Donya Ezo, a local weapon manufacturer, Bright Alan Deborah Ofosu, a freight manager, Gershon Akpa, a civilian employee of the armed forces, also soldiers Colonel Samuel Kojo Gameli, Warrant Officer 2 Esther San, Lance Corporal Ali Solomon, Corporal Seidu Abubakar, Sylvester Akambiri have been charged. Defense lawyer Victor Adaudu told the court the charges are trumped and demanded that accused persons are discharged. But rebutting, State Prosecutor ASP Sylvester Asari said the concerns by the lawyers are misplaced and insisted the state is at the right forum commencing proceedings against the accused persons. The magistrate presiding over the Kaneshie District Court, Rosemond Dodua Ejiri, dismissed the application, saying the district court has jurisdiction since it's not a trial but rather handling the committal proceedings. Lawyer Daudu, however, says his clients will walk away at the end of the trial.
So, at the end of the day, I have told you that all was geared towards the tag. So you saw they say it's an organization, and I'm happy that it was registered as an NGO, where there's a social, and what do they do? So if there's social media and people are discussing what is wrong, things that are pertaining in the country are not well with citizens, then you want to gag them. I'm sure they will embolden people to even go on social media, and they will see more of what citizens feel, how they feel, and say it.
The case has been adjourned to October 28.
In other news, the Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection says the Affirmative Action Bill has been reviewed and finalized and is set to be presented to Cabinet for approval. The Affirmative Action Bill, which has suffered a number of setbacks for the last 10 years, is expected to increase the participation of women in decision-making when passed. Despite the delays, gender activists and civil society groups continue to urge successive government to pass the bill. Well, speaking at a press conference here in Accra, the sector minister Cynthia Morrison says the final review will pave way to allow physically challenged females to be properly captured in the bill. She assured her ministry will also push for cabinet and the subsequent passage of the bill into law.
Significant progress made to review and finalize the Affirmative Action Bill with inputs received from institutions mentioned in the bill and ready for submission to Cabinet for consideration and approval. I must say here that we are a bit delayed because we had to incorporate our ladies with disability. So the affirmative action is not only going to be for, we have to add up to 8 persons with ladies with disability. Now it's gone. I've given a copy to the Leader of Parliament. I've sent a copy to the Cabinet. We'll review it, and then it goes to Parliament. The reason I did that was that when the leadership also goes through, it will be easier for us to pass it when it goes. But I can confirm to you that we are really on it. But a timeline I cannot give, because I don't know whether when it goes to Cabinet, we will have to come back. Since Cabinets have not sat on it, it will be wrong for me to stand here and give you a timeline. But I can promise that we're really working on it.
Moving on, a former executive secretary of the Inspector General of Police, Superintendent Peter Lenchani-Tobu, has criticized government for rejecting significant portions of the Emil Short Commission report. The commission, tasked to look into circumstances leading to the violence that characterized the Ayawaso West Wogomba elections, made several recommendations, which include the prosecution of the SWAT team member who slapped the Member of Parliament, Sam George. But all of that and more, constituting about 50% of the recommendations, were subsequently rejected in the white papers published by government. Well, for many, including the minority in Parliament, government's position on the report adversely affects the campaign against party militia activities. Speaking at a forum by the Coalition of CSOs Against Political Vigilantism, Superintendent Lenchani-Tobu urged Ghanaians to vote out any party that accommodates vigilante groups.
I'm just being real to the fact that in Ghana we pretend too much. When there is fire, let's look for water and quench it. Let's not sweep it under the carpet. I'm sure that all of you have realized that the people who were harmed or injured during the Ayawaso West Wagon, they are still in pain. We've not been able to truly reconcile. We've not been able to truly heal them. And this is just lying waiting for us. Vengeance can come. But what we are saying is that as a country, let's hold the bull by the horn. Say it as it is. If it is wrong, it is wrong. Because where we have got it to, and I was saying, whether NDC or MPP, let's be honest with ourselves and say political vigilance is a no-go area for our democracy. Simple and short.
But the government commissioned the most short committee to, investigate the matter. They submitted their report, and government has dealt with it. I mean, you're not satisfied, clearly.
I want every Ghanaian to be a student of the Emil Short Commission report. Right. Read it word by word, page by page, and read government's recommendation. Read the government white paper. And that's why I was saying that the government white paper is not white enough. The government white paper is not white enough. Mark my words. And they know it's not about grammar. This country, we love the country. You see, I speak like this because I have real experience in Bosnia. I saw what war is. I've seen what war is in Darfur. I've seen what war is in South Sudan. I've seen what it is in Liberia. So when I'm talking about the love for my country, listen, I am so passionate about it. The government white paper is not white enough. That's all I will say.
And you think that there might be reprisals should NDC return to power?
It is not about reprisal. It's about the fact that we need to do things right. And sometimes when people get out of control, it's very difficult to manage them. Let's do things right. And when there is discipline in this country, I don't think that anybody will just rise up and pick a gun or pick a knife and start chasing a brother because 10 years ago you hurt me and nothing has happened, and today I have gotten the opportunity and I have to pay back. That is wrong.
Another event, he was speaking on the theme Ayawaso West Wagon, recounting the cause of healing the victims. Security analysts also present at the event, Adam Bona, called for the establishment of a Truth and Reconciliation Forum to hear the complaints of the victims. He believes the forum will heal aggrieved parties in this case.
And I'm saying this, and I would say it should not be only for Ayawaso West Wagon victims. It should be, let's backdate it, if it has to be Talensi, Etiwa, and others, Shreponi, bring them together. Because there are people who today are incapacitated, either in Talensi or Etiwa or whatever. And they are going through pain, and you know the way our politicians are. They use you and you are left. And so can we bring all these people in a room, if there are 100 of them, let's listen to them. Maybe those who don't know how painful this can be would learn lessons, and they themselves, they would get out that hate out of them. Just like we did after Kufuor came into power, we had some commission set up. In South Africa, they've had it. And I think if we are not careful and we want to use punitive, let's punish. We might not get what we want, first of all, and secondly, people will continue to grieve, and chances are that when their party comes into power, they will pick up arms and try to revenge. And so mine is that let's bring them in dialogue and let them heal, speak about how they feel, how painful this whole thing is or has been.
So do I?
And that's it for the roundup of news. We'll do news review next, and we're looking at stories on the front and back pages of the newspapers. All next. Stay with us.